In about a week and a half, the Navadvip Dham parikramas are coming up. Perhaps you can tell us something about that?
Parikrama. After 1 week or so, there will be Navadvip Parikrama.
Yes.
He wants to hear something about Navadvip Parikrama.
To be more introduced with the realistic view of Navadvip. There are so many divisions in this Navadvip Dham, mainly 9, and they are told that representation of 9 sections of devotion: Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, Bandhan, and Archan, Sakha, Atmanivedan. Shravanam, that Simantadip represents Shravanakha Bhakti. Kirtan is Godram. Smaran is Madhyadip. Padasevan, the school of Deep. Archan, the Janmadip. What is this? Koladip and then Ritudip. And Bandhan is Janmadip. Sakha is Rudradip. And Atmanivedan is Mayapur. They have got connection with these 9 types of main devotional conception. And when we travel there, we are reminded by the incident of those places how such representation comes from such places, and all together promotes us to understand what is devotion proper. And Atmanivedan is the basis of all. And if after Atmanivedan there is surrender, the plane of life will be categorically changed. After Atmanivedan, after surrendering to the central direction, whatever will be done by us, that will come to have recognition as devotion. That is devotion. Atmanivedan. Selflessness plus self-surrendering. Self-surrendering means presupposes selflessness. Selfish actions come to end, and selflessness, that is also crossed, and then self-surrendered life begins, and that is devotion proper. The life of a devotee, not any individual interest or provincial interest, but they work for the universal interest of the whole Absolute. They are soldiers of that plane. They do anything and everything they may do, but the suggestion, inspiration comes from the center, the absolute good. So, though apparently they seem to be member of this plane world, but through their heart the connection is with the absolute good cause. So their color is completely changed, valuation is completely changed, their movement, valuation of their movement completely changed. So apparently they seem to be doing everything almost similar to the mundane persons. Whether they are eating, they are also eating, but properly they are not eating, they are serving the remaining sent by the Lord. In this way, Tayo Bhukta Sabdam, Basu Lankar Chuttita, Uchist Bhojino Dasastava Mayang Jayamahi, the Uddhav says in Bhagavatam. Says in Bhagavatam that we shall conquer the whole of the Maic energy only by one thing. What is that? We shall accept everything with the spirit of service, whatever you send for us. You have taken it, you have enjoyed, and the remnants we shall have to go to serve, and thereby whole illusion and energy will be devastated. So, once that Professor Babu, who wrote that Sri Krishna Chaitanya in English, he had his younger brother, he was a graduate perhaps, and he challenged Professor Sanyal that what do you do there? What we shall do, you also do in the mud. No, we don't do that, what you do. No, you don't do that. You do not eat? But no, we don't eat. Then what do you do? I have seen in my own eyes that you are eating. But no, we don't eat. We don't eat like you, devouring solid things, putting into the stomach, we don't do that. We serve Mahaprasad. As Swami Maharaj told Bhaktivedanta, he will faint there. So it is beyond your understanding what we do. We don't eat like you. No spirit of consumption. We don't consume anything. We honor the remains of the Lord. That's what we do. So such will be the difference of all the activities of the true Vaishnava and the worldly man. Apparently they seem to do the same things what the others are doing. Working, sleeping, eating and abusing persons, so many things. Earning money and distributing so many similar. But the standpoint is totally different. Connected with the center, abiding by the direction of the central movement, and they are guided by their provincial and local interest. Local and absolute, that is the difference, and the difference is very, very great. On the other side of the selflessness or renounced life, renunciation comes between, complete renunciation, and this side and the other side. So what is devotion proper, that to be realized, it is not by apparent movement generally, but the question of adjustment, angle of vision, that is to be changed, Dham Parikrama, so many stories, so many sceneries, but all meaning to help us in our absolute adjusted life. And if one can catch that, his parikrama, that he is working, traveling through different tirtha and receiving the local, historical, original instructions thereby in different conceptions of devotion, that is encouraged. So it is not like the meditant punyakami. There are general people in the general Hindu section who also are out in pilgrimage, coming in contact with the holy places, with some holy association. Their main object to get some unseen help in their present life. In their present life, what they want, they want to be, that to be satisfied by some invisible help, Daiva. That is punya kamana. Good to acquire good merit that will help to their present life in success according to their conception. Not Shuddha Bhakti. But the devotees, the Gaudiya Math people, their object is quite different. That is, cannot be reckoned in any of the different planes the present educational section is hunting for. They can't think even that a spiritual life is possible at all. That may be only a concoction. They are suffering from ill culture, negative culture. According to the so-called civilized scientific scholars, the Gaudiya Math is fighting with their shadow, they are hunting after the impossibility and the imaginary things. That is superstition. They are hunting, running after phantasmagoria. Superstition. Dhanisha sabbhabhutana tushang yagati sangami dashang yagati bhutani sarisha. On the other side, we think that in the name of concrete reality, they are running after phantasmagoria. So we just oppose it. The mortal, which is certainly the mortal achievement, they are running after that. They think immortality is not possible. Socrates had to pay for it. The soul is immortal. So, at the cost of his life, he had to announce that our soul is immortal. There is no immortal, nothing is immortal. So it is foolish to neglect the mortal pleasure. Whatever there may be, let us enjoy. That is there. But we neglect it simply. And ours is what is quite darkness to them. We want to be wakeful in that plane of life. The basis is soul is immortal, and there is the immortal world. And not only immortal, but that is a nectarine reality. Sindanturishi Amidasya Putra. All you sons of nectarine world, be mindful in my address. All internally you are sons of that soil, you are child of that soil. Why do you suffer so much? You are become victims of mortality, but really you are not so. You have got inconceivably higher prospect of life. Come back to your own plane, come back home. That is the general call of Upanishad, the most ancient revealed scripture. Comes to realize. So the attempt of Gaudiya Math not only call for the theistic life, but theism to its full-fledged condition. That is a family life with God. Family life with the absolute beauty and the charm. Your place is just on the lap of the affectionate father, or just in the lap of the beloved consort. In this way, and do or die. Do or die. That is the slogan of Gaudiya Math. Let us strive our utmost, to achieve what is our own, real prospect. But that. And no compromise, not any compromise in the way, in midway, but fight to the finish. We have to fight to the finish, and we must be prepared for that. Like all of the Gaudiya Math Acharya was so. Not any haphazard or any compromised, nothing of the type. So he had to begin his fighting almost single-handed against the whole of the world, against all different stages of culture ever known to the world. And his only support was Srimad Bhagavatam and Mahaprabhu. On his head, with heart within and God overhead. On the head, Mahaprabhu and Bhagavatam stood single to fight out that they are God. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And that also, not Not only he wanted to come fighting in Bengal, the province of Mahaprabhu, the Lord of the East, or not only in India but outside. To attack, it meant to attack the highest position of present civilization, the Western world, the scientific civilization, so proud they are with their at present achievement, and to break down the whole structure of present false civilization structure, to demolish and to construct a divine temple over the remnants of this mundane world, construct a temple of God. And not only this half-truth, but according to Bhagavad, the fullest in his words, full-fledged theism, full-fledged theism, not stop in the midway or halfway, or be satisfied with partial progress, but wholesale dealing, and that is given by Bhagavatam. By Vijnana Viraga Yuktam. What is the sloka? Avishyati Krishna Padara Vindayo Kinattavadhyani Chasantanut Sattasya Shuddhim Paramatma Bhaktim Sattasya Shuddhim Paramatma Bhaktim Yugan Vijnana Viraga Yuktam Avishyati Krishna Padara Vindayo Kinattavadhyani Chasantanuti Sattasya Shuddhim Paramatma Bhaktim Jnanancha Vijnana Viraga Yuktam. The conception of theism, something like this. Avishyati Krishna Padara, continuous existence. Krishna Padara Vindayo, under the holy protection of the divine feet of Krishna. Continuous, maintain one's continuous engagement, life, all sorts of movements. And thinking, the guide is on my head, the holy divine feet of Krishna, Padara Vindayo. Avishyati Krishna Padara Vindayo. Avishyati Krishna Padara Vindayo. Khinattavadhyani Chasantanoti. By this attitude, we can remove what is foreign in us in no time, very easily. The continued memory or remembrance of Krishna Padma, Krishna connection with, in no time it will disperse all the difficulties on the way. Khinati abhadrani, what is meanness? What is meanness? What is not dignified? Gauriya Math stands for the dignity of human race. Slavery to Krishna is the most dignified position you have to understand. And what is against it, that is meanness, abhadrani. The only standard gentle life, a gentle standard gentleman's life is to understand and to accept the position of subordination to the absolute truth. It is not mean life. What is proper, what is real, to admit that and to, on that basis, to make one's life advanced, that is not meanness. To understand one's proper position and proper duty and to discharge that, that is gentleman's life. What is truth, to accept that. So, Abhishniti Krishna Balaravindau Kinoti Abhadrani, what is considered to be meanness, that is removed very soon. Abhadrani. Kya sang tanoti. And what is really welfare, beneficial to us, that will extend, that will increase. Santanoti. Sattasya Suddhain. You are in some adulterated conception of your own life. Adulterated. Mind, this intelligence, the exploitation energies of different kinds. It is all adulteration. So Sattasya Suddhain, your existence will eliminate it. All sort of adulterated things, adulteration. Sattasya Suddhain. It will be purified and come out in its pristine glory. Your real self from within. Sattasya Suddhain. Paramatma Bhakti, and you will find you have got a happy devotional connection with the super soul, with the super knowledge. Paramatma Bhakti. Jnanam cha vijnana viraga suktam, and knowledge proper, which is paraphernalia, not a hazy, impersonal knowledge, but knowledge proper with his parivar, with his paraphernalia, vijnan, the systematic existence, vijnana viraga yuktam. Jnanam cha vijnana viraga yuktam. Viraga yuktam. Viraga means what at present your attraction is in this mundane, that will be transferred. Vishishta raga, the raga, the affection proper will be discovered. Now your affection and attraction, love, misdirected, but they will find their proper place. The affection, viraga yuktam, they will have is a real place and the position where they have to act. The affection, the attraction, the vishishtata, vaishishta, is a special characteristic you will find. These faculties will find their special support, to which they will be directed, a proper place they will find. This is devotion. Jai Om Hari Om. Jai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Jai Gaur Hari Bol. So, by Dham Parikrama, with the enlightened and of the real personality and his mission of Sri Gauranga Dev, who is he and what he came here to give to us. All these things will be clear and easily accessible to us and acceptable to us. It will promote to our highest goal of life. And it is meant for that. It is meant for that. To get Gauranga nearer to our soul, nearer to us, and to get him nearer to our soul, that is, to get guarantee of our Krishna, our achievement in Krishna Lila, even unconsciously. So, for us, fallen souls, it is more useful to cultivate about and to know about Sri Gauranga. Sri Gauranga, which will be able to give us the fulfillment of life with least trouble and in the fullest form. No, it will not recommend any haphazard or any misconceived Krishna consciousness. But real Krishna consciousness and also without least difficulty we can have full Krishna consciousness by the help of Gaura consciousness. The Gauranga consciousness, and then also we will be able to feel that Gaura consciousness also includes Krishna consciousness, plus something more. What is that? The distribution of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness and the arrangement of distribution of Krishna consciousness both combined is Gaura consciousness. Gaura consciousness. Kaviraj Goswami has written. Krishna Lila Amrita Dhar Jar Shata Shata Dhar Das Dike Bhaya Hoiti Sri Chaitanya Lila Hoy Sarvara Akhoy Manohamsa Charaho Tahati Kaviraj Goswami, the giver of Chaitanya Charitamrita, the most valuable literature, theological, has ever seen the light. Krishna Lila Amrita Sar. What is Krishna Lila? That is the real gist of nectar, sweetness, happiness expressed. Krishna Lila Amrita Sar, the sweetest of the sweet that can ever be conceived, that is represented in Krishna Lila. Sweetness in its acme. And what is Chaitanya Lila? That sweet fluid of Krishna Lila is spring, and the current coming by 100 channels. Gaur-Lila is such, the fountain of Krishna Lila, from where towards 10 directions, hundreds of streams of that sweet Krishna Lila in fluid, in the river, it is being spread on all sides. Sweetness of Krishna Lila as a fluid, and from the fountain that is starting towards 10 directions. Krishna Lila Amrita Sar, tar shato dhar 10 dike. Hundreds of such streams of sweet fluid is passing towards 10 directions. That fountain is Gaur-Lila. Krishna Lila Amrita Sar, tar shato dhar 10 dike বহে যাহা হইতে সেই চৈতন্য লীলা হয়. You try to understand what is Chaitanya Lila. It is the source. You may take it the source, the foundation. Because the Lila is eternal. Though it is after we see in Kodi, and that was in Dwapara, in previous Krishna Lila, but it is eternal. The giver is there, then the gift is coming to us. 10 দিকে বহে সেই চৈতন্য লীলা হয় সরোবর অক্ষয়. And not a fountain, it is almost a lake. A lake, 10 directions, so many streams of sweet Krishna Lila being distributed to the world. সরোবর সরোবর অক্ষয়. কৃষ্ণ লীলা অমৃত সার, তার শত ধার 10 দিকে বহে যাহা হইতে সেই চৈতন্য লীলা হয় সরোবর অক্ষয় মনোহংস চরাহত হাতি. Oh devotees, come like so many birds, you swim in the lake. From what lake? The Krishna Lila in different streams are being going to the water outside. Come and live in that lake. Sarubara Akshay, Monohamsa Jarahotati. The swan of your mind. The swan of your mind. Ask him to take shelter in this Sarubara, the Hamsa. The mind is compared with a swan, and the swan may swim in that nectarine lake of Gaur-Lila, from where towards 10 directions so many 100 streams of nectar is going on all 10 directions. Radhe Bhaktagan Sunamar Sadhanavacham. Oh devotees, my humble prayer to you all, Kaviraj Goswami says, Sunamar Sadhanavacham, Vilugnaham Mahantagan, Meghagan, And the devotees, the saints, like clouds, they are taking that nectar from that sarovar. Just as the cloud takes the water from the sea, and they go this side, that side, and there they give rain. So many sadhus, they are like clouds. They are extracting this amritam from the lake of Gauranga, and they are going hither and thither, and they are like rain. They are giving to the fortunate souls. More sadhumanto mekhavan kori akarsan chaturdike kori varisham. This is the conception of Kaviraj Goswami. There is something more, but I forget. It is there, you will find very, very charming, heart-touching things, and they're giving a clear conception. Govinda Lilamatam. In Sanskrit, the Govinda Lilamatam, that book has been written by Kaviraj Goswami, by the Ashtakaliya Lila. The full 24 hours engagement of the gopis with Krishna has been, how it has been described there. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita in Bengali and Sanskrit. And that is purely Sanskrit. These two books has made him immortal and with very, very high position among this earth. Kasturi Manjari is his name in Krishna Lila. Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu. And his place was that between Katwa and Ekachakra Nitanbulstam, station Bharam. There we have to go 2 miles north from Bharam station. There is a Jhamatpur, place of Kaviraj Goswami. Once I went to visit that place. And all through my request was to ISKCON, just try to improve that place. Most important according to me. The Mahaprabhu has given Mahaprabhu Prabhupada to us. Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj told that Sadvangsha, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all his, every part and parcel of it is Aprakita. Composed of the purest material, highest material. No part can be regarded as less valuable. All of equal value, the whole thing. Sadvangsha Pramani. And in other books, there are something substantial, other things only to help that. So many stories, etc. have been added. Even in Bhagavatam, so many stories which may not be necessary for us, but only to support the original thought, and they are devised. So, but Chaitanya Charitamrita, never a letter to be found which has got not the highest value. Such is impossible. Anything to be composed there necessary of elements of different type, generally. A different type of elements necessary for the construction of a particular thing. But Chaitanya Charitamrita, the wholesale, a golden temple, or something more. Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari. If one can have gone through Chaitanya Charitamrita, he has got anything and everything within his speech. The Bhagavatam, Mahabharatam, anywhere, be it any other, the central truth, he will be able to attain. Nothing in the theological world will be new to him. He will get the clue of adjustment in the theological world. If one can go through Chaitanya Charitamrita in the right way, he will have the key of the theological kingdom in his hand. In a gross or in a subtle way, all conceptions of theistic world has been represented there in their own position. The outlook, the adjustment is such fine and perfect there. We get the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Jai Gaur Hari Bol. Jasmin Gyati Sarvamidam Vijñātam Bhavati, Jasmin Prapti Sarvamidam Praptam Bhavati, Tadvidikāsasya. This is the conception of the center. Center can represent the whole in it. The seed represents the tree. So if one can have knowledge in dissection of the seed in a subtle form, he may get some knowledge of the tree there. It is possible. So, Jasmin Gyati Sarvamidam Vijñātam Bhavati, Jasmin Prapti Sarvamidam Praptam Bhavati. Apparently it seems to be impossible. If one thing is known, everything is known. The madman's delirium. Apparently it seems like that. One thing is known, everything is known. Then what is the meaning of one? One in many. How one, when one known, everything is known? Nonsense in this, in the apparent understanding. No, but the Upanishad, the revealed truth, its central representation is such that it is possible. By knowing one, we can know many. This is the revolutionary assertion, and we are to face with that in a sincere and earnest way, how it is possible. This is such a great thing, a great truth, cannot be buried underground, and we dance that we are civilized, like a madman. When we come to have recognition from within, then we get Shraddha, faith. Faith means to come in and to admit this fact, that yes, one is known, many is known, everything is known. This impossibility, if we can accept within our heart, then we are theistic people. We have got Shraddha, we have got faith. We have got faith. Otherwise, our religious tendency is all hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. কৃষ্ণে ভক্তি করিলে সর্বকর্ম শ্রদ্ধা শব্দে বিশ্বাস করে সুদৃঢ় নিশ্চয় কৃষ্ণে ভক্তি করিলে সর্বকর্মকৃত হয়. If you do your duty to Krishna, all duties are done, discharged. If you can have such quality of faith, then you have got Shraddha. You are faithful. Faith is a divine thing. It has awakened in you. So in no time you will thrive. Shraddha. Sakal Chariyar Bhai Shraddha Devi Gun Gai. Throw away everything which you think to your property and friends. Try to sing the noble characteristic of Shraddha, that is faith. Faith, Shraddha. That can only deliver you the infinite within your finite. The infinite, that is giving you the news, the tidings, that finite can come in infinite. You can get Krishna, you can get infinite, finite. So that is the good news. The Shraddha can only takes to you that prospect, that hope. So disperse everything. Only foster, adore the Shraddha, the faith, and that will be able to give you everything. That will be able to satisfy you fully. All other stuff, partial adventure, and that will take you to guide you to in the blind lane. All are blind lane. Only the royal road is Shraddha in the life of every soul. Gaur Hari Bol, 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 Gaur Hari Bol. Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol.
Maharaj?
Yes.
You say that the infinite can come in finite form. What is the form that the
It is not finite, but in the terms of finite you may think like that. But your feeling is satisfied by the infinite. What your preparedness in you to accept, to welcome the infinite, that will all be fulfilled and more than that. All your earnestness will be fully embraced and compensated, and there you will feel that still there is more and more. You can't finish, but in qualitative aspect you will be fortunate to meet that. The finite cannot finish its taste in infinite, but it is fulfilled with the proper qualitative aspect, the highest possible attainment of the jiva. Bindu Jagat Juba. One drop is sufficient to inundate the whole creation. That is such. It has been told like that. You would be lost in the sweet ocean. We are so many. in the ocean of nectar. We may swim, we may drink, we may do anything and everything, but sweetness is there. Sweetness to our utmost capacity. That all will become no aspiration, more than that. Whatever is endowed in us, that will have its fulfillment amply, more than that, beyond its capacity. Rather, the capacity will be more increased and they will be satisfied.
How our consciousness can be promoted to the place of Shuddhanam, chanting without the consciousness.
That is the same thing by the association of the sadhu who has got that, who is living in that plane, and he's emitting that sort of ray outside. And if I be fortunate enough to come to him with, of course, the favorable attitude, then that will I'll be able to imbibe that, and then that will help the quality of my, in the process of my taking the name of Sadhu Sangha, and next to Shastra Sangha. That is the favorable atmosphere can only help. Just as the proper weather can help a patient. A patient is suffering from some disease, and the doctor may recommend you go to that weather, and that will improve your health unconsciously. The air, the water, and the sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha, where the vibration of higher type, real type, to take advantage of that vibration, that will help improve, to remove the filthy character of mind and the naming, the name-taking aspect in me to improve his condition internally. Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari. And that is Sevanmukhi. Sevanmukhi. The road to, the name is Vaikuntha, spiritual, and the road to go to that of service, not of exploitation, not of renunciation, that of dedication. And this dedicating spirit within us can be improved by the association of the sadhus. Sevanmukhi jivharu swayameva sprata. As much as we shall be able to improve our dedicating temperament, we will be nearer to the spiritual substance, spiritual existence, spiritual master, spiritual food, everything spiritual. To dive deep into the spiritual realm, only to increase our capacity or dedication. And that we can invite from the association of the sadhu and then shastra. Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur. Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. Gaur Nidai, Gaur Nidai, Gaur Nidai, Gaur.
In the absence of the spiritual master, how does one
keep the association.
The spiritual master is not a limited thing. We must not fix limitation in him. Spiritual master I find in a figure or in Vaishnava. But at the same time it has been told that he is God himself. That aspect we should not ignore. It's one who can know who is his well-wisher. If we know it properly, what is well, and who is my well-wisher, if I understand that. So the spiritual master may come through, may approach me by various lights and aspects. Spiritual master. But our Guru Maharaj used to see in a small incident, oh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur came. I could not understand him. In many incidents, he used to look like that. Oh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur came to me. Through him, but I could not take him. That is, always in search of his master. He bona fide disciple is always living in the association of his master. And the master also cannot be idle without giving response to the bona fide disciple. So in many ways, in many instances, he may come to help us. It is also possible. So that the Guru, we want to go to Guru to confine in a my high experience age. What I know about Guru, Guru is he. All Guru is a particular servitor of him. But still it is in that Guru is he. High message is Guru to all. That instructions of Krishna may not be ignored. And also, if the yogis, they can come hither and there to meet their objects. And the Vaishnava also, by the will of God, they can also go here and there in many ways and help. So we must have some expensive, infinite idea about our Guru. Not a limited thing. But in different, with different provincial interest, in the different aspect, he may come to help to me. If I am sincere, my guardian's eye is always vigilant over my head. Over my head. He cannot forget me, his child. If I have got real interest in him, he, on the other hand, must have corresponding interest in me. Cannot but be. So, after all, nahi kalyan kaschid durgatin. If you are pure, the nature won't commit any mistake. Environment is not going to commit any mistake or be jealous to your progress. He is watching eye over you always. Mind your own lesson, oil your own machine. And he is there. He is there. He is there. The mind is, a true disciple's mind is always living in relativity of his Gurudev. So we found here and there in many places, oh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I could not do it. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, always got a constant connection of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He lived. One disciple came, Bhagavatananda from Puri. Only a year or two perhaps he lived and he passed away. Prabhupada began to cry. He wrote one article in Gauriya Titiya Varsha, Bhagavatananda. A math was established in his birthplace, Bhagavatananda Math in Midnapur. And Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I could not understand. Profusely he was shedding tears. As I told several times, that there was one barrister, Mr. Norton, in Calcutta High Court. Aurobindo absconded. And he wrote under disguise some article. And Norton finding his writings, no, here is Mr. Ghosh. He went to test, where is Aurobindo? This article, it cannot be, but that was Mr. Ghosh. So, inquired. Inquired the office of this magazine, where he has got this article. So there he would find the clue where Mr. Ghosh is living.
So the Bapu in Vani is unlimited in living.
Yes, the Bapu should be eliminated. Mani also may be Bapu on the form of word. It was published in Gauriya, but I had some objection to that. The Bani means a sound Bapu. Bapu means this practical life, they took it. And Bani, that it is said that what I say, you take it, but what I do, don't take it. It is something like that. Bapu and Bani, they meant like that. What he does, don't go to imitate. But what he says, what his advice, they accept that. What is that sloka in Bhagavatam? Ishvaranang vachasattam tasaiva charitam kvachit tesang jat svavachu juktam buddhimang stat samacharit. Those that are great, their advices are always reliable. Vachasattam tasaiva acharitam kvachit. But their practices are not always to be accepted. Acharitam kvachit tesang jat svavachu juktam. Which is the practices which is combined, supported by his advice, that should be acceptable to the intelligent section. Because he is Paramhamsa. For a particular reason, he is old. So, supposing Ekadashi day, he takes something. So the another one, when he takes something, then we must take. If we are able to fast completely, why do we do? He is taking. So, he is not feeling well. Just as Mahaprabhu told to Haridas, you are now old, you decrease your sankha. Sankha alpa karo. Haridas Thakur says, I cannot fulfill my Nirdishta sankha, but I fixed that every day I shall take 3 lakh naam, 3 lakhs of names. I can't fulfill. Oh, why 3 lakhs? Now you are old. You minimize your standard. So according to one's own necessity, man of higher position, his practices, daily practices may be a little slackened. But that should not be taken into account by an ordinary disciple. His instructions always take, and the practices, only those are combined with instruction, that he would take. So, what I told, from what point?
Bani Bapu.
Bani Bapu. So Bani means advice. But Bani Tattva, one may say something in the meeting, but he may not be so. Then you would accept his Bani and not Bapu, not practice, but his words, the Upadesh. But there we may find many where in the meeting he will say something, but he is not sticking to that sincerely. Then what to do? Bani is also not acceptable always. Bani Bapu. So Bani is also Bapu. If we want to analyze more finely, then we'll find that Bani also Bapu. Externally Bani is delivered in some way, but internally he may think someone. And generally hypocrites do that. They say something and they do another thing. Not only being, even in sincerity they are lacking. Bani Bapu. It is very difficult to understand the inner man by bombastic expressions and lectures. One cannot be great. The inner personality, to understand it is difficult. The inner man, not the imitation, can be in practice as well as can be in words and expressions, in lectures also. Imitation may be. But the man within, that is different. So we must be very alert. The sweet words to do. Sweet words, the shur, the sweetness of the sound, that is not kirtan. One who can chant Krishna Naam very sweetly, very touching, satisfying the ear. There are so many in this area. They can chant very sweetly the kirtan. But that sur, that sound, sweetness of the sound, that is not Krishna himself. It is something else. This Ramadas Babaji, he used to take name Krishna and tears running from, and the through the nose also liquid things are coming, and two sides to man with some piece of cloth, always removing them, and he's shivering like anything. Nitai Gauda, Nitai Radha Gauda, that whole thing is madly chanted, and so many many of the audience chant how he's taking the name. He's shivering, he's shedding tears, and so many things. Lost his senses outside the world, all these things. But nisarga pichchida shanti tadadhyasa pari satta bhasa vinapus kampasya pulakadaya. What a sound! This Bapu and this Mani. The Mani is coming and the Bapu is shivering. But still, that is dismissed as offenses against the Vaikuntama. Because other conducts and also the false knowledge, false conception of the tattva, ontology. Nitai is Radha. If Nitai is Radha, we have to cancel all Sanatana Goswami and this Narottam Thakur and so many others, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and so many others. And he's dancing and chanting and weeping and showing so many feats.
Maharaj, it seems like a symptom of Kali Yuga that everyone limits, even in other societies besides the Gaudiya Math, everyone limits their guru to Vapu and Vani. Everyone has a limited conception of guru.
You just said this way also. The object of worship is not in that. That of object of worship and no that of guru in the world. A Gunda has also his guru. What is guru? Joja Saddha Sai Vasa, Bhagavad Gita. The worshippers of many gods there are. They are Saddha. But the very Saddha to be analyzed and seen what type of Saddha. And that type of Guru and that type of Devda. It is everywhere. Satyaksha Suddhim Paramatma Bhakti. This खाद के की वाले आगे बोलेंगे ना
की शब्द में
भेजावट ताकि की बोलेंगे adulteration that is what we are, what are our real necessity. That is to be found. I am not this body, if I am this body, or I am this subtle mind, or I am only this soul, a part of Brahmaloka. So many different stages of thinking. By the elimination. ये सब तुआ जगत विचित्र तुआ पद विस्मृति आमर जंत्रणा क्लेश दहने दही जाय कपिल पतंजलि गौतम कनभोजी जयमिनी बौद्ध आर्य धाय तब कोई निजमते भुक्ति मुक्ति जाचत पातई नानाविध फाँद सो सब बहुत मुख तुआ सो सब तुआ भक्ति बहिर्मुख सो सब वंचक तुआ भक्ति बहिर्मुख घटाए विषम परमाद बहिर्मुख বঞ্চনে ভটসু সব নিরমিদ বিবিধ প্রসার দণ্ডবত দূরত ভকতি বিনোদ ভেল ভকত জনন করি সার। By the help of Guru and our Shraddha, we are eliminate so many tempting offerings will come to us from different directions. It is the truth. It is the truth. In this way, with their own pasara, that is selling pot, they will come, oh, you want this is a very good thing. And many canvassers will come and represent their things, dolls. So we have to eliminate through Shraddha. Sukriti and Shraddha will help us to eliminate all the outer demands of the outer coating of our existence. And the inner soul, he will be able to recognize, this is what I want. And this way the elimination will go. And one who can understand that thing, and what is gold and what is all the glittering things that are not gold, in this way to understand. And that is the beginning, in the very beginning of Gaudiya Math. Tanno, tanno, tanno. This is not, this is not, this is not. Neti, neti. It is not, it is not, it is not, in this way. But in this way, there is infinite possibility. So through Shraddha, Nirgun, Sakal Chariya Bhai Shraddha, there is the faith. Faith in Krishna. Faith in Krishna consciousness, that is elimination mostly of bhakti, mukti, and vidhi bhakti. All sorts of exploiting tendency and all sorts of renunciation tendency, avoiding tendency. And then also this the service under restriction, raga bhakti, that is natural, that is sincere, non-artificial. We have appreciation for that. Mahaprabhu came to give that, and Srimad Bhagavatam has recommended that. We have to understand our thing. What is our need? What you say, that may be fallible at every strata. So formal knowledge is no knowledge. That is in Bhagavatam, in Narad Goswami's Upadesh, Gaul Hari Gaul, Naurivaspadam, Bhata Hato Naurivaspadam, the wind-hunted boat, sometimes driven this side, that side, Bhata Hato Naurivaspadam, uncertain position. Wherever the wind blows, the boat is running carried by that. Any charm from any direction coming and swallowing me, that is nothing. Asthira Siddhante Rohinu Majiya Hari Bhakti Rohila. Must have our standpoint fixed. Unmovable standpoint we must have, and that is the real wealth. We shall be able to know what is what. Anyone will come and catching by my ear will drag me to a particular direction. And I am showing so many feats of devotional practices. That's nothing. We must stand on the ground. Have our stand, and we will be able to know what is what. and then mainly of different types of exploitation, and then that of renunciation, and then of Viri Bhakti. These are the Nikhila Bhuvana Maya, Chinna Vichhinna Katri, Vibudha Bahula Migga Mukti Moham Tadapri. Shikilita Vidhi, Raga Radha, Radhesha Bhami, Vilasata Siddhi Nittam, Bhakti Siddhanta Bhami. The Bhakti Siddhanta Bhami has a particular position. What is that? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that. Yesavatuha Jagata Vichita. So many acharyas with their own offerings, they are coming to canvass us and to make their disciples. They copied Patanjali, Buddha, Jaimin, so many. I want to be their prey. Otherwise, no man's land. Everyone will come to capture me. Anyone will come to entice me. I must not have such position. A chaste position I must have. That is valuable. For many Pandits get their signature to that Krinikantha, king of Kerala, where Shiva is the highest conception of divinity. His minister wondered, so many signs you see, it is all established already. No, the signatures that is given here we see no position. If you can collect a Ramanuj signature of Ramanuj, then of course it is. We can accept. So, and knowledge, the absolute characteristic of knowledge is possible. We have to admit that. Chiddhanti Sattva Samsaya. A knowledge of that quality is possible. Vidyati Hridayagranthi Chiddhanti Sattva Samsaya. Absolute knowledge is possible to acquire. We must understand first that it is possible to come in touch with absolute knowledge. Chiddhanti Sattva Samsaya. Such knowledge is there which can eliminate all other existing sorts of opinions to be wrong.
Maharaj?
Yes.
What is the meaning of chastity for the proper disciple?
Chastity is faithful to the cause, faithfulness to the cause for which he has come. Is a relative term. So chastity, unchangeable adherence to Krishna consciousness, that is chastity in the absolute sense. There may be relative chastity. Sincerely, he is finding into his interest in a particular plane. Not sincerity is complete there. We think only sincerity is complete when one comes to accept Krishna consciousness of Godhead. Others are all relative. And no knowledge is chaste than Krishna consciousness. And in Krishna consciousness also one may not think that he is, by beginning, by getting the touch of Krishna consciousness, he has acquired the whole thing. So, according to his getting pure conception of Krishna consciousness, the hazy consciousness, and the pure Krishna consciousness, that is degree. And by his arrangement, he is becoming more chaste and chaste. This way. Chastity means our adherence to the truth. The truth, we have come to realize that truth is in Krishna consciousness. And the Krishna consciousness is not a limited thing that only when one has got in his hand, but he has swallowed that. It is also infinite character. And there is gradation, and there is the room of progress in Krishna consciousness. So one, true to his own sincere progress, he is chaste. We shall so say so. Not to the figure. Bhaso vetti no vettiva. Such strong expression is also there. Bhaso vetti no vettiva. All right is now. Krishna consciousness. It is unlimited. Still there is a possibility of conceiving its purity and the adulterated form, and the Acharyas, they have given it to us. It has come in classification we find. Bande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isha Ishabdarakan Tat Prakashamsta Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangakam. And Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavangscha. First rank that we come in direct contact with. First, this rank. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavangscha. Then Shastra Guru, the authentic Shastra given by whom, and with the help of that, this first section of Guru comes to help us. Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Nitantam Sajivam, who has given in a permanent shape what is Krishna consciousness. Though not direct, but through our Guru, their experienced things are given to us, extended to us. Then Vaishnava Agosavamravananadam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam, who originally came to distribute himself the thing. What is that? That has been given by Rupa Goswami, this Shastra makers. So the original giver in section that. And what they gave? Sri Radha Krishna Pad, Sarvandlaita Sri Radha. By 4 stages it has been introduced to us. what our Guru Maharaj told. Everything may not be understood and accepted in the beginner stage. But afterwards we have to realize, oh, what he told, this is its meaning. Just as when I was in Madras, I found in a Bas Puja address, Professor Sanyal told that I don't want Krishna, but because you say that I have necessity with Krishna, so I worship him. I take his name. I could not understand what is this. We have come out for Krishna, and who can give Krishna? In search of that we have come to Guru. That was my understanding. I came out for Krishna and Mahaprabhu. Then who can give me the real conception of Krishna, Gauranga? I have come to search out for him, and then I find Guru. He says, because you say that I have got necessity with Krishna, so I want to connect with Krishna, otherwise no. I did not understand. But in Radha Kunda once, when the Bharatpur state Diwan with his family came to circumambulate Radha Kunda respectfully by lying and measuring in this way, then Paramananda Prabhu, a favorite disciple of Prabhupada, he came and informed Prabhupada that Prabhu, they also, the Diwan and the family, they also have great respect for Radha Kunda. Prabhupada answered, their devotion for Radharani and ours are of different type. They have got reverence and devotion for Radharani because they have got direct reverence for devotion for Krishna, and because Radharani is favorite to Krishna, they also revere Radharani. But our case is different. Our concern with is Radharani. And because Radharani wants Krishna, so we also want Krishna. Then that was clear in me after 3-4 years. So whenever we come approximately thinking that this is truth, we cannot receive or understand the whole of it. If we are in this line, gradually it will come to our realization. Many things still we find in Shastra. After, in the process of realization, such things will come. In Bhava Bhakti, there is Khanti Rabhatta Kalatta Vijakti Manasunnata, Ashabanda Sabutkamta, Namugani Sadaruchi, all these things. And Prema Bhakti, according to the realization, they have written the different stages, how it develops. Those are not within us. But that is given, and gradually we have to understand in this way. In the beginning, a beginner in a college getting admission, they may not expect to know anything about it. A systematic knowledge. knowledge properly adjusted. Otherwise there are many amongst our group. They heard Prabhupada's advices, words, but partly. One day some Aranya Maharaj told, he was a senior man, he told, I forget, someone I did, that Prabhupada told on this thing. Suppose who anyhow some provincial remark he wanted to utilize in a universal way. But I gave some objection to Maharaj. Prabhupada told this, it is all right. But this is not the whole thing. He told this also. So we have to harmonize. We cannot ignore the other thing, other part of his advice. So you shall have to come an adjustment and a systematic understanding of his words. So only partial aspect has led stress in sometimes in a particular point. And who has instinctively caught that, he takes that and nothing behind, nothing beyond that. So a systematic knowledge of the whole must be understood. Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. In a progressive life, what the step when one wants to get up, another's business only to take the leg from that and to put in another step. So the Kanishthadhikari, which is the object of his attainment, a Madhyamakari, he is perhaps withdrawing from that and trying to climb on the upper this way. And that the guidance of Guru has so many different sections of Shishya. All may not be equal of realization. One can understand some, another can understand something more, another more in this way. There may be gradation. But even the senior disciple may fall back and the junior may go up. It is also possible. We have seen, and you can also see now. So many oldest gone away, and the newcomers are showing greater energy. You can find among yourselves, we have also found it. No stereotype rules. It is a living thing, and as I told you, another gentleman, Nandiko remarked, that Darwin theory, survival of the fittest, natural selection, survival of the fittest, not in the Darwin line of thinking. Came back, went forward. We have sinned and we have to see that. It's a living thing, not a stereotype. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. is there. He has not finished himself in his own Shastra, he says. What I have written, this is do. Even crossing that, who may come to me, he is my higher arbiter. So he is living still, and he is the law of all. The transaction, নগদ কি বলে? Ready-made money, নাকি? ধারে কারবার. The trading by loan and trade with ready money. Trade with ready money, purchasing with ready money, nagad and purchasing and loan. He is there, he is master, he is autocrat. His dealings should not be limited in any, even in scripture. He says, even crossing scripture, I exist. Aggavi bhugnam dosam mayadishtan opishakam, though they are given by me, those directions. So, directions are different classes. So sometimes it would be necessary to show my devotion, even crossing my own laws, and their higher devotion. So many things are there. The main thing is faithfulness, to die for the cause, die to live. সরল হইলে গোড়ার শিক্ষা বুঝিয়া লইবে. Simplicity means to be independent of prejudices, ancient prejudices. That is to be simple, to be empty, to be unpossessed of the malposition, to be clear, to be free of foreign possession. That is simplicity. Gaur Hari Gaur, Gaur Hari Gaur. Formal and substantial, the two things. That is the main trouble towards progress. Seyam sadhadharme nisadam seyo paradharmo bhayavaha. The progress means to deal with these two difficulties. To stick to one's former position and then to make progress, advance. If advancement is not sure, it is judicious to take the former position. If there is any doubt of any progress, one should stick to the former position. But that is no progress. Progress means to leave the former position and go away. And only who is hopeful of his the bright future, he should leave his former and go in advance. And those are of doubtful mentality, suspicious mentality, it is better for them to stick to the former position, to the already consolidated foundation, to take stand there. during the time of Guru Maharaj, there were so many did not took sannyas. But later on, they found to go more speedily towards the goal, taking sannyas. To take sannyas means to take risk. To take risks means for progress, further progress. Is taking risk, is preparedness for further progress, taking risk. So, should he hold that same position in the time of Guru Maharaj where he was? Should he take to that position? All his desirable line, he will try to make progress. And if he make progress, he will see so many things new and so many things to be rejected. According to his own progress, he cannot but see that some things to be kept back and some things at the front to invite. Yeah, his progress means this. Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Nahi kalyan kaschid durgati tapavachati. Sometimes one may fall down, but he will be able to understand. Jata Saddamat Kadasu, that these are not desirable, but they are hunting me and for the time being capturing me. But after they vanish, then that man thinks, oh, suddenly came and overpowered me. So my interest is hampered. Again, I may not be attracted by them. I must be very alert in this way. Sometimes the lower propensities also may get better hand, go down, and sometimes one may go up. But in the midst of, we are always in the midst of battle. We are a soldier, always fighting for progress, which was founded by Swami Maharaj to differ from that committee, whether it will be helpful or no. If any doubt, it will be better to stick to the resolution of the committee. But if one can see clearly that what the committee wants to get from us, that is not the real desire of our Guru Maharaj. What he wants to show, it is not keeping up to that standard. And at the same time, if you find what I say that is nearer to the ideal for which Guru Maharaj came to preach, then only there will be justification for you to come to this site, ignoring the committee decision.
Yeah.
Jai Hari Bol.
That is their justification. If anyone can't see the difference, they should not take such bold step. Bold step. It should not be considered for them.
এই দিনু মিস্ত্রিকে 20 টাকা দিতে হবে, ওই নেট আর হুক টুক কি লাগাবে ওপরে?
What's the time? 9 o'clock?
5 after 10.
10.
5 after 10.
5 past.
5 after 10. All right. There you go. What was your question?
Started from chastity.
Chastity.
First chastity, then Vapurani.
What is the chastity of the true disciple?
Then do you find that it is replied in any way, or it is more obscure?
No, it is living. When it comes from you, it is living.
Fresh water, new water.
But you all say,
Yes.
Easily applicable.
Very clear, but we have to come to the standard.
has to appreciate. Come to we have the touch of the soil proper. Then it will be able to feel and discriminate. We have to take our stand in a proper plane, then discrimination.
আমি পাগলের বাবা
হ্যাঁ
ওই নিচুভাবে মিষ্টানের জন্য বিষের দুধ কিনে 300 আর তার একবার থেকে একটু বেশি
ওখানে we have a stand in a proper plane, then only viewing outside we can see what is whose position. What is whose position. Where from? Sambandha Gyan. Sanatana Goswami has given it in Brihad Bhagavata. We have closely to follow that. We shall have got a proper, that means proper adjustment. Taking our stand in a particular position, if we look out around, like casting a glance, cursory view, we'll be able to say, oh, this is there. This is here, this is there, this is lower, this is upper, this is all this. We must have Sambandha Gyan in Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna, what is Narayana, what is Baladev, what is the group. All these things we must have some sort of conception. Who is where? We cast a glance and say his position. That's in the army. The general perhaps from the up aeroplane, he will have a look. Oh, here they are posted, they are the thick. All right. The general taking the body, who is where? Every has in his own position is all right. So the absolute standpoint given by Bhagavatam, Vedavyas in his last revealed truth book, scripture. He has given Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Anadiradir Govinda. Taking our stand there, we have to get, we have a view of the environment and have our decision. Who is where? What is what? So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Kesavatua Jagata Vichitra, a market, variegated things are displayed, shown here. Kesavatua Jagata. So many mercantiles are around us. There we are just placed around us. So, Kesavatua Jagata Vichitra. Then, Tuapada Vismiti Amara Jantrana Klesha Dahani Dhyayai. Your separation. Separateness from you, from your conception. has put me to such trouble that I am always being burnt by different types of painfulness. Kapila Patanjali, Gautama Kanabhaji, Jaimini Bauddha, Are Dhai. They do not know what is the real trouble within. I am burning for your separation. They do not know that. They are producing different types of medicine very eagerly. Oh, take this, take this, take this. There are so many doctors are coming eagerly to get relief to remove my pain. But my pain is separation from you. They do not know. Gautama Jaimini Bauddha Are Dhari. Bahi Jai, Jaimini Bauddha Are Dhari. Kapila Patanjali Yoguna Gautama Kanabhaji Jaimini Bauddha Are Dhari. Vaimukha now. What is the next line? Kapila Patanjali Gautama Kanabhaji Jaimini Bauddha Are Dhari. Tapa koi nijamati bhakti mukti jachato tata tahatari nanavidha pam. They mostly take name of you. Yes, I am come to relief, to give you relief. The painfulness you are feeling. They think, yes, I know what is the type of pain you are suffering from. So that pain must be vanished if you accept this. Tabokoi, in your name they come. That to remove my pain, what for your separation, they do not know, but still the painfulness I shall be able to remove. In this way they come, approach. Tabokoi nijamati bhukti mukti jata. Ultimately we find either they are of the exploitationist group or renunciationist group. They must be put in these two groups, bhukti or mukti. Jaiminia, etc., they comes to offer some higher level of exploitation, and the renunciations, they come for liberation. They cannot surpass the jurisdiction of these two on the whole. Bhukti mukti jati patri nanavidha pham. But their method of approaching is of a very different and capturing type. Nanavidha pham, and trap. They want to entrap us in a variegated, charming way. Patri nanavidha pham. Sosabu bancha kutva bhakti vaimukha bhatoi. But all of them, at least they are common in one place. They are all against your devotion. They have got no real recognition for you. It is sure, I have found. Bhakti Vaishnava Bhatai Vishatva. So they are got certainly from my friends. They come to give me relief, but actually they aggravate the disease. Bhatai Vishatva. Vaimukha Vanchane Bhattashusab. Now Bhaktivinoda Thakur is coming with his own conclusion. Then why you are giving indulgence, all those professors, to misguide the people? Vaimukha Vanchane Bhattashusab. It is for tasting. It is for segregation. To help the real thinking man, you want to live deep devotees to take away. Your plan is like that. You send them to test who is bona fide in his quest about you, and who is superficial, they are taken away by them, and leaving them to go on with smoothly without any disturbance of the swimming friends. They can go on smoothly. That is your option. Vaimukha vanchane bhatashu sab niramida vividha patha. So I, your servant of the servant Bhakti Vinod, his finding is this. Niramida vividha patha dandavata durata bhakati vinod vela bhakata charana kurishar. I have got by your grace a glimpse of right knowledge to understand who is who. So I honorably give some respect to them and be off. Yes, I am all right. Now, if you please let me off. And I want the feet dust of your devotees, the pure holy feet dust of your devotees. That is the only medicine to do away with my trouble, the pain, the pangs of separation. That is my real disease. And the feet dust, Nina Mahatpada Raju Vishekam, and Nishkinjananam Numinita Yava. They feel the dust, holy dust of your devotees. That is the only medicine to remove my pain. I have found it, my Lord, by your grace. Giving some honor to all those doctors, to give back adieu to them. So this eliminative capacity, when we Anna Vilashita Sunnam Karmagyanadhanavatam. And this also in the amongst the devotees also, all that came to Swami Maharaj or our Guru Maharaj, they are not of equal. Many of them have gone away, and many are very weak, living below, and many are shining, trying to go up. We see, and then many they are busy to exploit Swami Maharaj. That is not impossible. They want to exploit Swami Maharaj, his name, good name, his credit, his goodwill. They know themselves what is their position in real, measuring by real standard within, but there are many who cannot control the temptation of exploiting him. Guru Bhogi, there is a term. Krishna Bhogi wants to exploit Krishna, wants to exploit Guru, his name, and to make fill for his own personal exploitation. That is also possible. So, a real student, a bona fide student, is to be allowed on all sides that the non-Krishna may come in different dress, and I must try to save me. And if we are sincere, none can disturb us. Vibhishan, you say, we must not rely Maya. Hanuman was keeping the Ram Lakshman within the room of his tail, and the Vibhishan is warning Hanuman, very careful, that Mahiravan will entice you, entice Ram Lakshman, and when different dress will come. Then at last he came in the garb of Vibhishan himself, and took him away. So possibility of the approaching of Maya is very spacious, comprehensive. So we have to be very careful to maintain the valuable tendency and outlook of our inner arrangement, what we have got just be very careful to maintain that, and if possible to make progress on the right. That is our interest. So God saved me from enemies, that is also a general thing. God saved me from my friends, that is also there. And I am also included within that. You must be a lot of that. I may be also. As a friend, I may go to deceive you. You will be so much careful. Careful. At your own risk. You pray for the Supreme, the Chaitya Guru, for giving the right direction. Right direction. What is what? What is what? What is to be accepted? Crucial point. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Gaur Hari Bol. Gaur Hari Bol. I don't want to take the responsibility. Mahaprabhu and Krishna has also not taken the responsibility. You are free. One who can complain, compel everything to come to his own line. He also says, you are free. What I had to say, I have said. Now you, Arjuna, decide what you are to do. Vimishra etad asheshena, exhaustively, to the fullest capacity of yourself. You discriminate and decide what step you are going to accept. What is that? What else? Anything? Huh?
Maharaj?
Yes.
Yesterday, they asked me if I accepted the GBC as absolute. I say, because I accept them as relative, because they see themselves as absolute. And then they ask, do you accept Sridhar Maharaj as absolute? I say, yes, I accept him as absolute, because he sees himself as relative.
He said yesterday he was asked, do you accept the GBC as absolute?
Who?
Madhav Prabhu.
Madhav Prabhu.
They asked him. He said, no, I see the GBC as relative because they think themselves to be absolute. But I see Sridhar Maharaj as absolute because he presents himself as relative.
In their own coin. Yes, I am conscious, both absolute and reality. I am relative, of course. Everyone holds a relative position because there are more to realize there. So he's a research scholar.
Presented very scientifically.
Yes.